1, 2, 3, 4.
Today we are going to troubleshoot an issue that we're having with our 2018 Toyota Highlander. So yesterday the wife called me, actually maybe that was today. Yes, today the wife called me and said that there was an issue. She was driving and the car showed a check engine light, and it also showed check all-wheel drive system. So I'm gonna start it up and see if it replicates it, and then we're gonna see about troubleshooting it. So it starts up, it's normal, see the check engine lights illuminated. I might not do it with the hood open. Looks like it's not going to do it with the hood open. Alright, let's go shut the hood and see if it helps. Right as soon as I went to open the door, it started doing it. So, check engine, visit your dealer, and check all-wheel drive system. So, one thing, I kind of have some experience with something similar to this was, probably a year ago, my 2006 Toyota Avalon, I went to drive it and the check engine light was on, and then it also had a light for the traction control system, and I feel like it was the ABS. Don't really remember on the last one, but for sure it was the check engine light and the ABS. And after doing some research, I found out that the gas cap can cause those lights to come on, which seems strange. I'm sure Toyota has a reason for it, but that's unbeknown to me. So what I ended up doing was going and buying a new gas cap. I cleaned up the filler neck real good and put the gas cap on, disconnect the battery to reset the computer, and it went away and it hasn't been back since. So I'm hoping that we can do something similar with this, and hopefully it will save some people some money and not have to go to the dealer and pay hundreds of dollars for a diagnosis and everything else. So the first thing we're going to do is disconnect the battery. Got your battery here. We have our positive side, and it's a 10 millimeter bolt right on the end there, or a 10 millimeter nut. So just take your 10 millimeter and crack it loose. Of course, whenever you're doing anything with the positive side, make sure you don't touch anything that's grounded like this. So when you spin this over, don't touch this with your wrench because it'll short out. Alright, we got that loose. And just give it a little twist. Pop it off. Okay. Then usually what I like to do to make sure that the electrical system doesn't have any residual juice in it is I'll turn the headlights on. So flip the headlights on. There's no lights in here, so it's not getting any power. So that should be good. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to take our gas cap off, and then we're just going to inspect it. Make sure that that little seal that's in there isn't ripped, doesn't have any cracks, anything like that. It does look a little bit dry. So these fuel systems in these cars, it is a sealed fuel system. So if there's any kind of an air leak, if the cap doesn't seal right, or if you forget to put the cap on, then it's going to throw check engine code. So you want to make sure that everything seals up good. Doesn't look like there's anything too horribly wrong with it. You want to look in here, make sure the spring is good. I don't see anything that looks strange or out of place. So what we're going to do next, grab a rag, stick it down here in the filler. Of course, I have one of my handy dandy old socks. We're going to toss that in there just to make sure you don't get anything in there. And then we are going to clean up this surface here. And it doesn't look bad, but I'm going to do it just to be safe. And so what I have is some 120 grit plumber's sandpaper, and so we're just going to hit that around the outside edges here where the seal goes. Looks pretty clean, pretty good. This down here kind of concerned me a little bit. It looks a little rough, but yeah, I don't think it's too bad. Now that you got the edge all sanded down, and hit it with a rag real quick just to pick up any loose pieces that are on there. Grab some petroleum jelly, and we're going to take the petroleum jelly and we're just going to lube up the seal in here because it looks pretty dry. I think it's going to be a good idea to kind of clean that up a little bit, or rather lube it up a little bit. So I actually decided that we're going to just take that seal out of there. And then that'll make it easier to get it lubed up. So to get that out, I just have a pick here. Oh, it's not focusing very well. It's just a little curved pick, and we're just going to take him and we're going to put him in here and get behind it. You want to make sure you don't mess it up. So just gonna get behind it. There we go. And then we're just gonna work it around until it pops out of there. And it's out. So here's our seal. This is the inside, and this is the outside. And looks like I'm bleeding. Stabbed myself with the pick. But get the blood off there. So it looks like it is pretty dry. If we look on this side, it's kind of hard to tell, but here on this lip here, there's some real fine little cracks in there. I think we will be able to clean it up though. Okay, so we're just going to take our petroleum jelly, and we're just got to get some on your finger here, and then we're just going to work it all the way around it. I'm going to start on one side, work around here. Here's my dog. And we're going to flip it over, rub some on the other side as well. These dogs are making all kinds of noise in the background. Alright, so as you can see now it's nice and shiny. I'm also going to just run my finger down in the middle here. Alright, I think that should be good. We'll put it back on and try it out. Just wanted to add real quick that before I put that seal back in there, I'm going to take my rag and I'm just going to run it around on the inside here where that seal rests. Make sure that's nice and clean. Now we're going to take our seal. Remember, this flat side is the one that is the side that goes out like this. This side here goes in, so we're just going to put him just like that. Work your way around, pop it past those ridges. Now it's seated all the way down on there. Cap should be good to go. Now on our filler, we're going to pull out our rag that was keeping everything clean. I like to just blow on it before I pull it out. That way, get any loose stuff out. And pull this guy out of here. Okay. Now we're going to take our cap and just reinstall it. So, there we go. Like seated. Now the caps are attached to the door. I just popped it off with that pick. That's how I made myself start bleeding. But the end of it just has a little nubby, and you just pop that right back in the hole, just like that, and it's good to go. So now let's reconnect the battery and see if it did anything. All right, and now for the moment of truth. Of course, reconnecting the battery is just the opposite of disconnecting it. Put the terminal on there and tighten it back up. So let's fire it up and see if the light comes back on. And voila. So anybody that owns any of these newer Toyotas, so that you know if you get a check engine light and then a either check all-wheel drive system if you have an all-wheel drive, or traction control, it'll be ECT is what it says on the front-wheel drive cars. First thing you need to do is check your gas cap. First, check to make sure that it's tight. If it's tight, then pull your gas cap off and just make sure that everything's sealed up good. I always like to clean up that filler. You know, you get gas all over it and junk that's on the nozzle for the pump, and it gets all over there, and it can make it to where that seal doesn't seal up on the gas cap very well. So clean that up, grab some petroleum jelly, and lube up that seal a little bit and put it all together. Don't forget to disconnect your battery. That check engine light will keep coming up until you clear it, and unless you have a OBD2 scanner or one of the wireless dongles, you won't be able to clear that code. If you don't have any of that, then just disconnect the battery, turn the lights on. That'll reset the computer. So I hope this helped everybody out, or I hope it at least saved somebody a little bit of money. This cost me a whole couple cents in used materials, so it's a good thing to do. So please like and subscribe. If this helps, throw me a comment. Tell me if there's anything you want to see.